What's up and welcome back. I'm John Stark, back at MovieGuy.com, your favorite blind film critic. And today, I'm going to talk about Hot Milk. This is now in theaters. It's from IFC, who loves to let me pre-screen things. Thank you, IFC. And it's worked out mostly for them. So click like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. I do a lot of movie reviews, TV reviews, talking about random Hollywood nonsense, all of my hot takes. I had to use that at some point in the Hot Milk review. They're all on here. You can join. I'm pretty simple. I don't have any crazy theme songs or anything like that, but I'd like for you to join my cult following anyway, because people say they go into things blind, but I actually kind of talk about what that is to actually go into things blind and what that's like. So this is an interesting little film. So Hot Milk, I did not get the audio description for with a pre-screen, which is, oh my God, so common. I think one of the reasons I want to be on the tomato meter is just so that like theaters, like other companies just go, huh, blind film critic. Maybe we should attach the audio description that we made for the film with the screeners. Because my contention is always, do you think all those guilds that have year-end awards don't have blind and visually impaired? Because I know that's not true. Like, I actually know people who are in guilds who are blind and low vision. So they could probably benefit from screeners with accessibility. Anyway, I digress. IFC has given me a couple films this year, and I turned out to really love them. I loved Tornado. I fucking love that movie. That movie was great. So, like, I'm sorry. I did not like Hot Milk. I know we're trying to make this film happen. It stars Emma Mackey, Fiona Shaw, Vicky Krebs, and Vincent Perez, all four who are solid actors in other things. They're all fine here, but the film just doesn't really support any of them. So it's a directorial debut based on a book, and it's kind of already been bouncing around some film festivals and stuff. It already kind of doesn't really have a great RT score. It already kind of doesn't have a great IMDb score. Its Metacritic score is kind of and I'm already getting this film, and it's coming out in theaters, and I'm joining the thing, and I honestly, I went to see what like everybody else was, and I always kind of like to see what other YouTube critics are putting out in the world. Man, there are a lot of bots. I'm fighting, now I have to fight a whole, you know what's really demeaning, like as a human being? To know that you have less subscribers and views than a channel that is AI. Like, what the fuck? If that doesn't make you want to pull an Emma Mackey at the end of this movie, I don't know what does. So, love me! Anyway, so Hot Milk is Emma Mackey, who was in Sex Education. She's a brilliant actress. I have big hopes for her. Fiona Shaw, who also is an excellent actress. She was also just in Echo Valley. Fiona Shaw plays this mother who can't walk, hasn't walked since Mackey was 4, and that's stated at some point. I'm like, man, that's a long time. And they're down in Spain trying to see this new doctor to try to find a way for Fiona Shaw to walk, and the doctor's Vincent Perez. And there isn't enough of a lead-in. I'll get to that. Anyway, I should keep explaining the movie. So the whole dynamic is basically Emma Mackey's career, whole life is just kind of on pause because she has to take care of her mom, because her mom is essentially disabled because she doesn't walk. And she's waiting for her life to begin, like Rapunzel entangled. And while she's down in Spain, she runs into this sexy lesbian played by Vicky Krebs who uh, kind of hits it and quits it. And for some reason, Emma Mackey becomes a little overly obsessed with that. Nothing in here really works, so I'm just kind of like moving through things. Meanwhile, Fiona Shaw is trying these new things with Vincent Perez, and he's also, not only is he like trying to medically figure out, he's also kind of psychologically analyzing her. None of this makes a whole ton of sense, and it didn't have audio description. I was able to follow it a lot. Um, and but not perfectly. I mean, I didn't connect all the dots. But a lot of the story would have benefited from, this movie's trying to be as short as humanly possible. It's like 92 minutes with credits. And it's a film that probably needed to be longer because like I felt like we just kind of started and I didn't know enough about their backstory. I think there was like at least one flashback. There's some things where like Emma Mackey goes and talks to her father to try to get, they try to shape the film with a little bit of context and clarity as it progresses. But unfortunately, we didn't really get the build. We didn't really get to see the struggle. I feel like the uh the crux of this movie is this relationship between Mackey and Shaw, but it doesn't feel it actually doesn't push on that as much as it should. It kind of meanders around it. With Fiona Shaw, some people are like, well, she's incredibly controlling. I was like, not really. She's really kind of bitchy about the water quality. Aside from that, she's not nearly as controlling as, I mean, we've seen some really domineering and overbearing parents in films before. This is not that. I mean, I I think people watch more movies or TV shows or something. She's a little needy, but and I was thinking, am I as a disabled critic supposed to have like a hotter take on Fiona Shaw's character from the perspective of, well, she's disabled, therefore I as a disabled person need to be able to siphon the understanding of needing help sometimes. And it's like, yes, I get help sometimes. Sighted people are nice to have. I use that. I say it a lot jokingly to my other blind friends. I'm like, it's nice to have a sighted person around. Because, yeah, there are things that we can do, but there are things also where, if we're being honest, it just takes us like way more time. Like, you drop something small on the floor and it rolls. It's so much easier when there's a sighted person to be like, I just dropped this thing. Do you see it? Instead of spending time crawling around or trying to use Be My Eyes and calling a volunteer and being like, do you see this tiny object I dropped on the floor? It rolled and I'm not really sure where. Like, did it go under something? I mean, I could be gone for a while. So, yeah, it's nice to have people. And for Fiona Shaw's character, I mean, being wheelchair bound, uh, she's, I'm sure it's the same thing. I'm not wheelchair bound, so I don't know what that experience is like. So if you're looking for the hot take from blind film critic to about a disabled person, my only thing is that Fiona Shaw is not actually disabled. But also, spoiler, neither is her character. I shouldn't say that, but that's part of the whole thing, is that Emma Mackey is pretty convinced that her mom is, like, it's all in her head, because her mom used to walk for years and then just kind of suddenly couldn't. And there's no real rhyme or reason to it. There's no real medical diagnosis. And Vincent Perez that's why he's going through psychologically trying to figure out, why is it that you can't walk? Why is it that you supposedly don't feel anything below the knees? All those things. And I mean, the film answers the question by the end of it. So this isn't one of those films where it's like, well, we needed the disability represent. No, we didn't need the disability representation here. Watch the film, you'll be fine. Uh, the disability representation here did not need to be somebody who's actually wheelchair bound in order for this film to work. So I don't know. I struggled with this film so much. And I was like, I hate it. Man, I had this conversation when I reviewed The Martial Artist, which is another film I got a pre-screen for. I hate getting advanced screeners, and there's this like fear of if I give a movie that I got a pre-screen of, even something without audio description that I admittedly did not firmly grasp, and I give it a negative review, will it end my life of getting pre-screens? Will I be removed from some list? And I'm just trying to remember and remind IFC, I loved Tornado. I'm sorry I don't like Hot Milk. I'm sorry. I don't like this movie, but a lot of people don't seem to like this movie. It's kind of messy. Not everything that a studio is going to put out in a calendar year is going to be good. It's just not. I've never seen that. There isn't a single studio, A24, Neon, Disney, Warner Brothers. There's always one film from them, I think, every calendar year that I'm just like, eh. And I think they know. And they're like, eh. Usually they try to put it in a month where it's just going to get lost anyway and nobody's going to pay attention to it. So Hot Milk is that film for IFC. To be fair, I haven't seen Clown in a Cornfield yet. And I wasn't given a screener for that, which is weird. I haven't seen Ugly Stepsister, which was given a theatrical release but didn't have audio description, so there's no point in me watching it. So some of their other theatrical titles this year I didn't see. But the ones that I have, I mean, Dangerous Animals introduced me to the concept that Jai Courtney could act. That's mind-blowing. I was just like, oh my God, that's a solid performance from this man. Look at him. So yeah, in general, I've had a couple of surprises. I liked Luckiest Man in America. I thought Paul Walter Hauser did a really nice job in that film. So don't hate me, but this is not a good movie. This film could have been a good movie, but it needed to not feel like it had to be done in 90 minutes, which is what it feels like it is, which is it's too cluttered. There are too many ideas and too many characters. We don't know enough about Vincent Perez's doctor or why he's this guru that they have to go to. They just kind of show up. Like, what's up? We're here. You're the next doctor. Well, what was happening before? How many doctors have you been to? It would have been amazing to see Emma Mackey and Fiona Shaw just sitting there with like another doctor and just sort of exasperated. And Emma Mackey's like, I can't do this anymore. Or her experiencing maybe with a therapist or something leading into this. But it doesn't, we don't get a backstory. We don't get the history. It just kind of happens. And they're just kind of here and like, yep, this is our life. And you just kind of find out as it moves on. But this doesn't feel like a movie that you want to jump right into at this point in time. This feels more like what would happen if you showed up late to a movie or if you were watching a TV show but didn't watch the first episode. It feels like something is legitimately missing from this movie. Like, and it's not audio description. I mean, for me, it was also audio description. But I mean, like, in terms of storytelling, I feel like that there's more here that for some reason was parsed out so that we could get this. I'm not sure why we got this, because this is too short. The whole thing with Emma Mackey's character and her obsession over Vicky Krebs doesn't get enough time to breathe. So Emma Mackey's reaction to everything coming out of that character makes no sense. So everything is just kind of stunted. Everything just kind of doesn't, it's like we have a thought, we have an idea, but we don't know how to finish it. We don't know how to get from point A to point C while also showing you point B. Or we're not going to show you point A, we're just going to show you B and C. So it feels like there's always a little chunk of something missing in every single idea in this film. So I didn't care for Hot Milk. Obviously, I can't tell you what it's like for audio description. Normally, it's because it's a narrative feature, I wouldn't grade this. So I'm not giving it a letter grade because I can't. But also, I don't think I give this a fresh or a thumbs up or a recommend. This is, I don't know, rotten thumbs down, not recommend. I can't see anything. I can't see the audio description giving me the kind of clarity that I need that the script would have needed to give me. The problem isn't so much the lack of accessibility here as it is the lack of story, the lack of structure. I have a feeling the book is probably deeper than this, and this is sort of like a surface level adaptation that, again, I think there's pressure to get in 90 minutes, and I don't know why. It's such a tight film that it feels like, were you told you had to be a 90-minute film? And the only reason you're 92 minutes is because of credits? It feels unfortunate. It feels like a missed opportunity because when you have these great actors who have all been amazing in other things, Vicky Krebs in Phantom Thread is brilliant. Loved her in that. Emma Mackey was one of my favorite characters in Sex Education. I kept hoping that she would somehow break into the Emmy race. So Fiona Shaw is just, she's a legend. She has like 20 different performances where she's excellent at everything. Um, and Vincent Perez, I haven't seen him in a while. I can't think of anything he's done profoundly in the last like 10 years. But he used to be a big deal. And for people who are like, who's Vincent Perez? So he's the guy that they replaced Brandon Lee with for The Crow, for Crow's City of Angels. I'm always going to think of that. He also did a movie with Madonna. So I'm not thinking of the good movies right now in my head, but I know I've seen Vincent Perez in other things. Yeah, I'm sorry. I apologize. I don't know why I'm apologizing. like I said, I feel this pressure as a low-level film critic on YouTube when I get a screener to be like, yeah, the film was good. I can't do that because I'd be lying. So I also can't lie. What's the point? What's the point of me coming on here every single film and being like, oh, every film was amazing? That's amazing. Every film he got a pre-screen to was great. And now I can't sell out just for if I lose screenings, I lose screenings, man. Whatever. But sorry. So Hot Milk, no, I don't watch it. Sorry. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. And I'll see you guys on the other side.